Let's be honest about something. Home warranties have a reputation problem and they've earned it. Denied claims, terrible contractors, phone trees that lead nowhere. If you're a real estate agent, you've probably stopped recommending them because your clients hated the experience and so did you. But there's the question nobody's asking. What if the problem was never the concept? What if it was the execution? Today's guest is a former AIG actuary who spent a decade pricing risk at the highest level, saw that the warranty model was fundamentally broken, and decided to blow it up and rebuild it from scratch. This is Lancelot's Real Estate Roundtable, and today we're cracking the warranty code with Matan Slagter, the CEO of Armadillo. My guest today took one of the most disliked products in real estate and asked, what if we actually made this work? Matan Slagter is an actuary by training who spent a decade at AIG, rising to head of the market distribution, which is maybe the best job title I've ever read on the show. He left corporate insurance to co-found Armadillo, a technology-driven home warranty company that's reimagining the entire experience. Transparent pricing, real-time claim tracking, AI-assisted processing, and here's the big one. The homeowner actually gets to choose their own contractor. Armadillo has been featured in Key Crew Journal for their innovative approach, including a green incentive program that rewards homeowners for upgrading to energy efficient systems. Matan, welcome to the roundtable.
Lancelot, thank you for having me.
You're an actuary. You literally price risk for a living. How do you build a home protection plan that's profitable and actually delivers value when someone files a claim? And what's the balance between charging enough to stay solvent and being accessible?
Well, we price our plans so that we can say yes to our homeowners. And we feel like this is a day one mission for us that the industry, the home warranty industry, could do better and deliver a better product for homeowners. So our pricing and everything we do, and me being an actuary, is about striking the right balance between, of course, charging enough so that the company can be a going concern, solvent, but also so that we're able to say yes to our customers when they file a claim, when they have a stressful moment in their homes.
And how is Armadillo's pricing fundamentally different from legacy companies?
Well, mathematically, I'm sure they have actuaries too, and they use the same methods that we do to price the products. And just to give a quick lesson to anybody listening, real estate agents, it's very similar to insurance. We have models, actuarial models. There's frequency and severity. Frequency, how often something breaks down. Severity, when it does break down, whether it's a repair or replacement, what is the average cost? So the big difference between Armadillo and other home warranty companies is not the frequency. We all experience the same thing. The frequency of breakdowns will be the same between us and other home warranty companies. The difference is in the severity. We assume that we're going to pay more when something breaks down, and that allows us to have less exclusions in our contract and say yes more to your clients.
That's awesome, man. I love that. I love that strategy there that you're building. Let's address the elephant in the room, okay? Home warranties have a terrible reputation. Why has this industry historically had such massive trust issues? Is it the claims denials, the contractor qualities, or the communication?
It's all of the above, but I think it's because for decades, the industry, and not everybody, but many unscrupulous home warranty companies optimized for denying claims instead of earning trust. And when you do that for decades, it hurts you across the board. It hurts you trust with homeowners. It also hurts your trust with technicians. So when you go to a technician now for a newer company like Armadillo, we've been around for 5 years. A lot of technicians don't want to work with home warranty companies. So it's really hurt us as an industry. And I think we have a lot of work to do. We in Armadillo and we as an industry have a lot of work to do to regain that trust.
Hey, you can count on me here. I'll sign up as a technician.
Sure.
You know, building contractor. So drywalling, kitchen rebuilds, all that kind of stuff. We can do that in my area if you guys want a person to sign up with you. I trust you guys are good. And what percentage of the bad rep is earned versus unfair?
Well, I think a lot of it is earned. And again, it's not every home warranty company. There are some great home warranty companies. Armadillo, I'm biased. Armadillo is a really great home warranty company, but there's a few good ones out there. There's also a few not so good ones that have earned the whole industry a bad rap. I think that, to be fair, it's also a tough product. It's like healthcare. Anything can break down in the body, anything can break down in the home, and we just can't afford to pay for every single breakdown that happens in the home. And as a homeowner, rightfully so, you might expect that everything is covered. You bought a home warranty, you think everything is covered. So I think it is a tough product, and we've got to be better with what we cover and when we cover and how we communicate with the homeowners. So a lot of it is earned. Some of it is also the nature of the product.
Got you. Was there a specific moment at AIG or after where you saw the model failing homeowners and said, I'll need to build something better? Take us to that specific moment. What did it look like when you realized that?
I think I'm a slow kind of thinker. It takes a few moments to build up into all of a sudden you're like, okay, this is a big problem. But it wasn't one moment. It was realizing the industry treated claim friction as a feature and not a bug. And once we realized that, me and my co-founder, who's been in the warranty industry, not home warranty, just more broadly the warranty industry for a while, we figured that there's room for a new player to come in and treat claim friction as something that we need to fix and not a feature of the product.
Got you. So the old model was broken. The pricing was wrong. The experience was awful. Now let's talk about what you built to fix it, okay? Real estate agents include warranties to sweeten the deal, but how can a buyer actually know if the provider will follow through when they file a claim? What should a buyer look for before signing,
Yeah, I'll give you a few red flags. I think that, first of all, this question gets at the heart of what makes Armadillo different, whether it's our transparency, how we communicate with customers, and how we power all of that with our technology. But some red flags for the real estate agents that are listening and for your clients. If there are companies that say that are going to let your clients, the buyers, use their own tech, and that's all they do, they could just use their own tech, that's a red flag. Even though we do that, we have a two-to-each model. We let customers use their own. We also let customers tap into our network of technicians. But companies that only let you use your own, that's a red flag. I would highly recommend that you look at the limits. You have your buyers look at your clients look at the limits, because the limits of liability, the coverage amounts are usually very low for those home warranty providers that only let you use your own technician. It sounds great on paper, but then you look at the limits and they're very low, too low to make a difference. The other red flag is companies, home warranty providers that say that they don't have any limits. Any home warranty company that says you have unlimited coverage, immediately, red flag, look at that, because that means they have more exclusion than their awards in their encyclopedia. That's why they have no limits, because everything is excluded. So I think those are two big red flags. And lastly, I think if you have a sales executive from a home warranty company who you trust, I think that's a huge thing. That probably is a difference maker. We have a team of salespeople at Armadillo that live and breathe the product and are there for their real estate agents. I do think that makes a difference. That would be a green flag. If you have someone who you trust, they have good character, they're not just selling you on the product, that's more of a green flag in the green flag category.
So let's recap this. So red flags, if the company only works with their own technicians or they offer low deductibles. Was that deductibles?
Oh, yeah. So a company that tells you that you could use your own technician, but that's all you could use. You can't tap into their network. Their limits are likely very low based on our knowledge.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The second one is a company that tells you that they have no limits. There
are no limit companies. Okay. So first is technician, second is no limits, and a green flag is if they have a good sales team that communicates really well.
Yes.
So guys, that's the three most important takeaways from this one. Armadillo uses real-time claim tracking and what you call extreme communication. How does that fix the retention problem the industry has had for decades? And what does real-time tracking look like for the homeowner side?
Yeah, retention from our perspective and the way we look at it, retention isn't won at the renewal time. It's earned during every service event, every claim. Every time something breaks down in a home, it's an opportunity for us to build trust with the customer. The customers don't leave. From our experience, they don't leave because something breaks in their house. They leave because they don't know what's happening when it does. they're not hearing from their home warranty company, they're not getting transparent communication. So from us, it's, transparency and communication is about turning a claim from a moment of anxiety into a moment of trust. That's how we've built our entire philosophy as well as our technology to support that philosophy, that mission. Yeah, that's how we look at it.
I love the client first perspective that you're taking here. I think that the world is heading in that direction. Hopefully more and more companies do that. I know we thrive for that in real estate. I thrive for that in my contracting business. It wasn't that for the longest time. It was profit-based, how we can pinch the last penny out of people. And there was absolutely no transparency in how it functioned because there was no AI, there was no World Wide Web, et cetera, et cetera. But finally, people are like, hey, I could research this. I can research that. Look at the reviews. Look at this. And they're doing that. So we have to be transparent and we have to be client first. And I think that builds a legacy business and good trust with people. So walk us through old company claim versus Armadillo claim side by side. How does that line up next to each other?
So I'll start with old company claim, very bifurcated processes. I've experienced it myself. I've had a number of home warranty products with different companies and filed claims, and I've gone through the experience. You talk to a person, you call them, I need to file a claim. Can't file a claim online sometimes. You talk to a person, you tell them what's wrong, then you wait a few days, you don't hear back, you have to call again. You call, you can't reach that person. They don't have in their CRM information on what you talked about the first time. So you have to repeat yourself again, bifurcated systems. Sometimes you get sent to another call center in another country somewhere. Their systems are not connecting. So what you're getting is a situation where you feel like you have to follow up with the home warranty company and you're stuck and you're kind of churning on this wheel. You just want your refrigerator fixed. You just want your AC back up and running. With us, it's different. We have a 360-degree view. First of all, our systems, anybody who works at Armadillo can see every historical communication that's happened with that customer. So there's never like, can you tell me again something that you've already told my colleague? That doesn't happen at Armadillo. Now, the second thing is we communicate with our customers both through email as well as SMS. As well as anybody else, that SMS is probably the most effective way to communicate with someone. So everything we send someone via email, we'll send a little thing via SMS, and they can interact with us in both of those ways. Again, that goes into a single system, and we update them throughout the entire claim experience. If they're using their own technician, the communications are a little bit different. If they're choosing to use one of our network technicians, the communications are a little bit different. For example, if we are dispatching a plumber that works with Armadillo to a home, we will let the customer know once the plumber has been identified who they are. We'll give them the information if they want to call the plumber directly and talk to them, all the way through the day of dispatch. After it's done, they'll get the job is done. The customer will get an update on what was covered. We pay the plumber directly in that specific instance. So it's an integrated experience. We keep people in the know throughout it, and we feel like, if there's a difference between legacy and Armadillo, the legacy provider pays $700 for a claim. We pay $500, so we're paying less. Let's say we're paying less in an example, but we communicated better throughout that experience, and the legacy provider took 2 months to get that $700 to the customer. The customer that got a lower payout will probably still be happier with Armadillo than the one that had to wait 2 months and go back and forth. So communication for us is really core. That said, we do cover usually a higher coverage amount than most of our peers. So it's not a good example because we end up paying more probably, but that's a different.
That's your customer first response there. I remember, man, just going back in my mind a little bit, we used to have a warranty with Sears, home warranty for an appliance. We bought 4 sets of appliances for one of my rentals, and it included the stove, the micro, and the fridge. And we were paying $50 a month or something like that. And then whenever something broke, they charged us about a $200 deductible to come out and fix it. And I told my wife, and they were brand new, when we got it. And the tenants, they abuse stuff, so it's fridge. I think I changed 3 fridges out, and I didn't change, but I had to get same apartment, by the way. They have 3 apartments with the same stuff that we bought originally, and 1 apartment that turns the tenants for some reason. They destroyed 3 fridges. It's the 3rd one in there now. And the stove, it's the 2nd stove. The first stove got fixed twice. And I was telling my wife, and I was looking at the numbers, and I said, look, babe, we're paying yearly $600. That's the cost of a new refrigerator. And then for a stove, it's about 550 or whatever. It's a rental. And we've been paying this for 3 years now. And look at this. Every time they go out and fix something, it's almost the cost of a fridge. It's not worth it at that point, know?
Right.
And it was only the appliances that was covered, nothing else. And I was like, this is way too expensive for what it was worth, And the service was horrible. It took 2 months to get somebody out there. The tenant was always, my stove's not working. My fridge is not working. My fridge is not working. So it was tough, man. It was really tough. I'm happy that there's somebody out there that's getting things done in a much more timely fashion. I'm not sure about your rates yet because we haven't talked about that, but but in a timely fashion, which it means the world for a tenant that, hey, I'll be out within the next 3-4 days.
Absolutely. And we hear what you just described. We hear so much, and it's a problem that plagues the industry. It's really a problem that plagues the industry.
Yeah, because in 3 or 4 years' time that we had that thing, we paid in about $4,000, and we got the whole 4 sets of appliances for about $6,000. So I was like, we paid almost for a new full set, and we only got a little help here and there.
Right.
And it was like, oh my God, was it worth it? Probably not at that point, But we'll talk about, pricing and stuff, because you might say, hey, Lance, I can get you that for $10 a month. And then we're like, hey, that makes sense,
Yes. I think that one of the big issues in the industry is that some of us forgot what it is to provide good value proposition. We have landlord clients. We have a number of landlords that will own probably 20 or less units, so small scale landlords. And for them, it's about getting back quickly to the tenant. And they're willing to pay a little bit more. They know that they're going to pay a little bit more with us because we need to make a margin. But if the tenant is happy, they're happy. And that's the majority. In that case, that's a value proposition. Then we have clients that just want real financial protection. They want to know that when their HVAC goes out and they have to put in a new $15,000 HVAC, it's going to pay off because they just don't want to be out of pocket. They can't afford to be out of pocket. They put a huge down payment on the home. That's a different product. And they might be even comfortable with a higher deductible because they're looking for the more catastrophic type losses. So we have products for that. And it really depends on the segment and what you're looking for. But what you described is, we hear that so much.
Awesome. So I'm not alone in that. You're using AI-assisted claims processing and digital reimbursements. How does tech modernize what has historically been one of the most frustrating service experiences in real estate? And how fast can a claim get processed now versus the old model that I just explained?
Look, AI is a tremendous innovation. And it's more than that. It's changing the world. And you and I have children. I'm assuming you have children. Yeah. I think a lot about what the world is going to look like for them.
You notice gray hair, yeah, by the way. Yes, it's the beard gray. That's what comes when you get children.
I don't know if it's the kids or the business. Maybe both. No, that wasn't happening. That wasn't there. But, we don't think of AI as the tool. We think of it as a tool, but for us, the real innovation is the ability to let homeowners get answers in minutes instead of days by using AI as a tool. AI doesn't replace human experience. It removes the friction that frustrates humans. It doesn't replace human experience. We still have humans. We have senior adjusters. We have customer service reps. They work together. AI is enabling them to provide more and better service to people. And sometimes AI can just respond more quickly to customers. And it's awesome. We're working on an amazing tool right now that will provide an instant adjudication approval. It's not live yet, but adjudication approval for people who want to use their own. You have a technician in your house, it's going to be a little bit more expensive than whatever we pre-approved you for, but you want a quick approval. So we're working on an AI to do that, So we use it as a tool to really be able to enhance the value proposition to the customer and also scale better because we're a fast-growing young company and we're not reducing our workforce, we're growing it. But with AI, we could do that and continue to improve our profitability so that we can pay back to our shareholders. A lot of our employees are shareholders. So we want to ultimately for this to be a good story for everybody. So we use AI for that. How the legacy companies use it, I don't know. I'm sure They're using it.
They're dabbling around with it probably.
Yeah, around the edges. They're using it around the edges. I'll put it that way.
Just so everybody understands, AI is not taking over the human experience here. It's behind the scenes, making the experience better. Okay, so you still have that interaction with your sales rep and all those things that you really want and feel. This AI is basically just helping in the background to make everything more efficient. I just want to clarify that for everybody so they understand what Matan is doing here, instead of, I'm not talking to a robot. No, you're not. You're talking to a human being, but the AI is helping the human being be more responsive faster. That's what's happening here. Okay, so the tech is here, or there on your end. The transparency is there. But here's the thing that really caught my attention, the choice factor. Okay, let's talk about the choice model here. Here's what caught my attention. Armadillo lets homeowners choose between your vetted technician network or their own contractor. That's insanely cool, because if I would have had that choice with Sears, I could have had my guy out there within 24 hours fixing the thing for a fraction of the cost. For the amount that home warranty charged me in deductible, that could have been done for the same price with materials and everything from my tech. Why does giving customers that choice actually create a stronger business? And most warranty companies force you to use their people. Why is that?
Yeah. Well, I'll start with the foundation,
The first, yeah.
which is actually the second one. Let's start with the second one, because the legacy home warranty providers want you to use their technicians because it's lower cost to them. They negotiate low rates with technicians. You'll probably get the bottom of the barrel because those are the technicians who are willing to charge less. And it'll take longer because there's a long queue until you can get someone to your home. But the home warranty companies are entities that need to maximize profits. And for them to do that, they want to reduce their ratio of claims that they pay out. And in order to do that, they negotiate rates with technicians. And in their minds, that's something they have to do. We came in, and one of the key insights for us was that a lot of customers were unhappy with the wait times and with the technicians that they were getting from legacy providers. So we created a two-twitch model that gives the option to the homeowner. If they want to use their own plumber, their trusted electrician, maybe the real estate agent knows a great HVAC pro, they can do that. We have our technology facilitates that process. And the cool thing is, usually when you use your own, you're totally in charge of that process, and people enjoy that. And that's outside of our hands at that point, what the experience will be like with a technician. We just provide the financial reimbursement, which is what that customer wants. Otherwise, a customer also always has the option to say, no, Armadillo, I just moved here to Nevada, or I moved to this place, Atlanta, Georgia, whatever it is. I don't know anybody. Could you find an awesome qualified technician? We do that as well. We usually work with nice mom and pop shops, that we don't like the private equity owned big technician providers, because it's the same thing. They're squeezing profits out of these entities, and then
they're more expensive too.
Yeah.
Than the mom and pop shops. Yeah. And the mom and pop shops are well known for giving better service because their reputation in town is key for them to survive. While Rotor, just saying a big name out there, is everywhere in the country. For them, a bad review here and there is not really scratching the surface because they get thousands of reviews a day. So
right.
That's exactly. It's a hit or miss you get.
And we love working with mom and pop shops. The larger home warranty companies don't work with them because they can't accept as much business. The larger home warranty companies will find larger technician outfits. We love the mom and pop shops. We feel like that's the way we always want to be. And I hope we can stay that way as we grow. And we think that's a better experience it's also supporting the local communities, to be honest. So it's it's a virtuous cycle. It reminds me, I got an MRI yesterday, and because I have lower back pains, and the doctor is like, I want you to get an MRI, and please use our MRI facilities. And I looked at the bill, it was like $2,000. Thank God I have health insurance, thank God. And even then my deductible is so high, right? No one told me I can go and find another MRI, like my own MRI, and probably pay $600 and get the same image. You look at parallels in other industries. I know, I'm sorry, I'm going off script, but I was just I was fuming. Never am I taking what the healthcare professional tells me at face value. I'm always going to look for my own, because it's just insane. It's insane. Anyway.
Correct. How do you maintain quality when the homeowners pick their own people?
So at that point, it's out of our hands to who the technician is. That the homeowner probably is getting someone they trust, maybe someone they found on Google, on Thumbtack, whatever it is, whatever platform they're using. But what we can do at that point is optimize the experience and the transparency so that the homeowner knows throughout that process what is covered and what is not covered. Because once they use their own, there is this thing. Okay, well, if I called my plumber and it's a $800 job, are you going to cover all of that, Armadillo? So for us, optimizing the communication back to the homeowner and giving them the confidence to move forward with their own technician is probably the most important experience boost that we can give. And then beyond that is once they do get the work done, getting them the reimbursement money as fast as possible because they're paying out of pocket to their own technician. And then they're submitting a paid invoice to us and they get a reimbursement. And all that is facilitated by awesome technology. So that's where we focus on when people use their own technicians.
So to clarify this, if I have my own plumber and I use for 10 years, I keep using him, correct?
You have the option to use them. You don't need any special approval from Armadillo to use your own. You just need to file a claim. But even in the claim filing, if you go online, less than 2 minutes, there's a button that says, I'm going to use my own. So you don't even have to ask us for special permission. It's pretty amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great, because you have your trusted realtor who always has their list of cool vendors, especially if you're buying or selling a home. That's the thing is like, call my realtor. He's the mayor of town. He knows everybody,
And Lancelot, I'll tell you, we hear this so much from realtors. They love, that's why they start working with Armadillo over other home warranty companies because of the ability to use your own. And the other cool thing is I directly talk to a lot of the real estate agents because we have 35 employees. We're a middle-sized, smaller company. So it's different than working with an American Home Shield or one of the large.
I wanted to ask you about that. Do you guys have those pamphlets that American Home Shield does? Because I could take a bundle of that and start passing it out at closings.
We'll get you even better pamphlets.
Okay, cool. You also offer cash out and digital reimbursement. What's the advantage when your competitor forces a single service route?
Yeah, I think it's like everything else in the economy and other industries. Consumers, and this country is based on consumerism, like choice. They like the option to choose their destiny and their future. And for us to say to someone, look, you can repair it, or if you want, we'll just pay you the cash and then you can go and buy a new one. If you want a new refrigerator, it's a pretty large repair, it's $700. You want to hook yourself up and buy a $1,300, $1,800 refrigerator. Here's your buyout. I think it just gives homeowners another thing and
flexibility.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And that's what you need in today's world. If they want to upgrade at that point, you get the cash and you add your upgrade money to it and you're getting a KitchenAid instead of a Whirlpool, and you're like, hey, Here's the time. We can get an upgrade because out of pocket, we're only coming this much out of pocket compared to if we would go out and buy a new one. Yeah, I love that. And then give us a scenario where cash out makes more sense than a repair, and how fast does the digital reimbursement hit? Okay,
so I'll start with how fast. It's almost instant. It's pretty amazing. You get a text and an email with a link. You click the link, and it's like you have to, if you already have played or whatever, then it's connected to your bank. You could just get it. Otherwise, you're connected. It's super, super quick, super easy. When does a cash out make sense? It depends on the situation. We have a few different concepts or things that can happen. The repair, if a total loss on the car, repairing the car is going to be more than buying a new one. That type of cash out, then cash out makes a lot of sense. You just go and get a new thing.
Also, I'll put that in a better term here, in more of a home warranty term. I have an oven, okay? And the motherboard of the oven is $400. The oven itself is $600. Is it worth paying a tech and replacing the motherboard, or is it worth getting a new one? At that point, a cash out would make more sense to go out and buy a new one instead of getting a tech out here.
Exactly right. And when we say makes more sense, there's the financial sense for Armadillo, like how much to pay for. If there's no difference between a repair and a replace, that's one thing. But for the homeowner to just even get the option where they have to maybe add another $50 to get a really nice new oven, they love that. We get so many people taking that up, and that maybe doesn't make financial sense, but another $50 to get a brand new oven when yours is like 9 years old right now,
It makes sense in the long term because value wise, when you resale home, it does count into, hey, I have a brand new one compared to a 10-year or 11-year-old one, or a 2-year old instead of an 11-year-old. And then also the upgrade that we just talked about too, it makes a lot of sense. It's like, hey, I could toss a few extra $100, and instead of having 5 burners on the top, I could have a 6 burner, or I could have a convection oven instead of a regular oven, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's right.
And I only have to toss in another, few $100 to get the upgrade compared to the cash out, which is awesome. I think that makes a lot of sense in my world, where you're constantly upgrading to better technology, maybe Wi-Fi controlled refrigerator, et cetera, et cetera. Like, oh, I have a cool fridge. I think I got a good one because I didn't get the builder grade. I went out and I traded my builder grade back, got credits for it from the builder, and I went out and got myself a double door fridge. But it still doesn't have the cool screen and all that other fancy stuff in it. So the next fridge I'm going to get is probably going to have those things that counts my eggs in the kitchen or in the refrigerator and my milk and tells me what levels everything is. And then, hey, here's your shopping list for the week. And I'm like, oh, that just made my day. It emails it to me. I have it in my phone. I can take a look. And as a man, okay, I'm not a woman. I shop as a man. Where's my list? Let me grab that stuff and then get out of the store. While a woman, like they look around a little bit more.
We all love to upgrade and get new stuff in the home. And if if your home warranty gives you the option and doesn't force you into a path, but gives you the option, I mean, it's a no-brainer home warranty experience, a huge enhancement. So luckily, it's a decision we made from the get-go. So we've been doing this from the beginning, and hopefully other home warranty companies will follow suit.
Steal your idea. Yeah, I did. And then run with it. No, I get it. It's awesome. I love that. In a service industry as fragmented as home repair, how do you keep automated updates without losing the human touch when someone's AC dies in August, let's say? And where does automation end and a human pick up the phone?
Yeah. So we have human case managers for every claim that comes in, precisely for this reason. We might use technology to automatically identify that you live in a place that is currently in the summer, 90 degrees plus on average. We usually ask, even our technology will automatically ask, do you have an elder in the house or do you have an infant baby in the home? And we have all these factors that the technology will say, okay, this is a much more urgent situation than otherwise. Now, let's say you live in a very busy place and it's the middle of the summer. It's really hard to get an HVAC pro to your home.
Or here in Central Florida, for example.
Right, that's right. In the middle of the summer, it's going to be really hard when everybody's HVACs are just breaking to get someone to your home quickly. Sometimes it's really difficult. You have to make a lot of phone calls. Fine. Then we will even go further and we will get a temporary air conditioner unit to the person's home. So it depends on the situation, where you are, what time of the year it is. Technology can help us flag those when the homeowner doesn't maybe say it out loud or files a claim online and it's not said specifically. But then there's always a case manager, a human case manager that will look at every case, and we will have the way we prioritize claims is based on these sorts of urgency factors. So it's both. It's a combination of human and technology to optimize the customer experience in all phases of the game, whether it's the summer, winter, wherever it is, whatever is broken. The technology helps us prioritize things, and then a human comes in and really steps in to make sure there's.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, I mean, look, a broken AC in August in Florida is horrible. If you could get that on the priority list compared to a, I don't know, vanity repair or something like that, or dripping line underneath the sink, like it's a big difference,
Totally. Yes.
When it's 90 degrees outside and humidity is 100%, you want to get that AC rocking. Thanks for that, by the way. Now, let's talk about something that matters to every agent listening. How this changes the game for them. Okay, so agents, listen up. These are your questions coming up. Let's clear this up. How do home protection plans complement standard homeowners insurance? And why are real estate agents uniquely positioned to offer both?
Okay, well, first of all, the most important thing is to say that the home warranty industry was born out of the real estate sales channel. But I think it was born by real estate agents about 50, 60 years ago. So it was the need for it kind of gave it birth. Someone buys a home, a home buyer buys a home, he has old systems, they get a home inspection, the inspector says, look, the home is great, everything's great, but there's an old water heater, old HVAC system, you might need to replace those at some point soon. I recommend having someone take a look. Whatever, whatever that diagnosis looks like. And then the buyer is concerned. So they go to their real estate agent, to you guys, and the real estate agent says, well, let's talk to the seller. Let's see if they can replace the HVAC system before you move in. The seller says, no, but I'll get you a home warranty. So it gets negotiated into the deal, one way or the other. Not every deal, but in many deals, it just makes sense. Buyers put a huge amount of money down for down payment. They want to minimize unexpected costs, especially in the first few years as they restabilize their homestead, themselves, their homes. And a home warranty is a great thing that doesn't cost so much money to provide them some protection while they move into this new home. I think that even if it's not offered, real estate agents should consider really telling the buyer, consider getting this if there are old systems in the home. Homeowners insurance. I come from the insurance industry. I was an actuary. I worked in homeowners insurance as well for quite some time. Homeowners insurance, if we put those right next to each other, homeowners insurance is about catastrophic losses, hurricane, you guys know well about that, wildfires, burglary, structural issues in the home, things that home warranty doesn't cover, but like you really need coverage for. Your mortgage company is going to require you to have it, but homeowners insurance, everybody has to have. Everybody has to have.
Should have really recommended. Self-insured is okay if you're a billionaire. Otherwise, get homeowners insurance.
You're one of those, the billionaires, you could self-insure all you want, but otherwise you need homeowners insurance. Home warranty, it's about covering things that could cost thousands of dollars, maybe tens of thousands of dollars for an HVAC system.
I would put it like general maintenance items that can break that are not a catastrophe.
That's right.
That's right. Light plumbing issues, or if your bathroom gets flooded from a plumbing issue, that's kind of like a catastrophe. But if you have a dripping line under the sink, that's kind of something that a warranty would cover. Your oven breaks down because it's old or cockroaches went into it and shorted it out. That's a warranty. If your oven breaks because you had a flood in your house, that's a catastrophe. So if I would like to sum it up, that's what I would say to kind of define the two sections.
That's exactly right. And we work with homeowners insurance companies. We work closely with them because a lot of times there's something that's covered by the home warranty that then causes a bigger issue like flood, and there's then mold damage and stuff that falls under homeowners insurance. So we will work with the homeowner. We will advise them on what to do as related to homeowners insurance and reaching out to their agent and going through that motion. So a lot of times there is this coordination.
And you could update and save money in the long run. It's like, hey, my warranty covers these. I don't need it in my general insurance, et cetera, or something that overlaps could help out. No?
The insurance industry is one of the most profitable
yes.
long-term industries. They always get their money back. It's worse than the mafia. Homeowners insurance companies, they will raise rates. They have been raising rates in Florida specifically. They've been raising rates across the country. They've been raising rates. They get their money back. And if you file a claim, it's in your claim history. So they're going to raise your rates even more so. So anything that can be covered by home warranty doesn't have to go into the claims database, and therefore will keep your homeowner's insurance rates lower. So they also, from an overall cost perspective, home warranty a lot of times can help immensely with the cost of homeowner's insurance.
Oh, that's hey, golden nugget right there, guys. That's an incredible site. I think that we should all take into consideration when we are offering these to our clients. It's like, hey, guys, this can help out with the homeowner's insurance in the long run. It's like auto insurance. You have a car crash, even if it's not your fault, your rates go up. Here's the same thing in regular homeowners insurance. If you have a claim, your rate's going to go up no matter what, even if it's, but it was a storm. It wasn't my fault. It's like, yeah, but you put it on the claim. They're going to charge you more, That's right. I always say that I carry it just because of catastrophes where it does get out of hand in price. But for small things, I wouldn't call them. I would just do it myself. Or if I would have a home warranty, I would probably call my home warranty company to see if they can take care of it for me. And in that instance, should agents be recommending both at the same time, by the way?
Well, I think naturally homeowners insurance, when an agent works with a buyer to get pre-approved or qualified for a mortgage, usually the mortgage officer will connect them to an insurance agent. The real estate agent, if they know a great insurance agent, I think, absolutely connect the homeowner so they can start getting quotes. And the homeowners insurance prices have been going up so much that giving them some resources to start estimating what that would cost is great. And
I had an insurance guy on just like 2 before your episode. and he told me all about it. It's crazy how it's been going, you know?
It is. It's a really fascinating industry, the insurance industry.
Hey, look, it's the only industry that didn't lose money in 2008, but made money. So I think it gives everybody the idea of how a world crisis and one industry is pounding the pavers and making a killing while others are defaulting like banks. You know, like, holy cow. They bought the banks, by the way, just so you know, insurance companies were buying the banks. That's
Yeah,
how much reserves they have of money. They're the ones buying out the failing companies.
it's true. True. And then regulators had to come in and say, hey, banks, insurance companies, we have to keep you separate because it's too much of a risk, too much.
Yes, too much. You owe too much. You can't do that.
Right, right. It's fascinating.
So
It's actually fascinating.
it is fascinating, but that's so true. It's so true, and it's so sad in a way, that they can do that, and they say, "Oh, we're not making any money. We're a for-profit business." I'm like, "You've been for-profit since you started. So much for-profit that you probably own half the world by now. So you can't tell me that you're not making money on us. You are making plenty of money on us.
Yeah.
You know." Because there's plenty of people like myself that won't put a claim in, just go and fix it, if there's something wrong, because they don't want their rates to go up.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So Armadillo has a green incentive program, which I love, to be honest with you. I'm all for green incentives and building healthy and all that stuff and saving the world for my children. Let's talk about the rewards there. Homeowners who replace broken systems with energy efficient alternatives. Walk us through how that works. What kind of incentives, discounts, cashback, and how does this position the agent as forward thinking?
For our real estate plans, I think it's up to $1,000, I want to say, of extra coverage when your clients replace something that broke down and they want to do it with something that's more energy efficient. We try to think really deeply about how Armadillo, a home warranty company, can do something to help the planet. We're like, from where we sit, where we are in this tiny little industry, what can we do? And that's a solution we came up with, and it's an amazing thing. I can't believe we're the only ones that do this. Basically, we're incentivizing people that have a claim to get a tankless water heater or replace HVAC with something that's more efficient. We give them up to $1,000 extra coverage beyond what they would have otherwise gotten to do that. So that's our way of trying to move in that direction. I'm proud to say that to my children. Sometimes like, what industry are you in? Home warranty, not the most exciting thing to say, but this is something that we're really proud of. And we believe homeowners shouldn't have to choose between fixing what's broken and upgrading to something better. We believe that we have a role to play. So that's the incentive program. The way it works is really easy. It's part of our claims process. We just need to see proof, either an Energy Star appliance, or if it's HVAC, we have standards for what counts as a more efficient HVAC. Water heater, usually tankless water heaters are much more efficient. So we have different standards there. We guide our homeowners through that. And a lot of homeowners elect to do it. And
it's less space, guys. Less space for a tankless water heater, and the $1,000 will get you the cost of what it would cost you to get the electricity upgraded to a tankless water electricity. For me, that's a no-brainer. If I get Armadillo, or when I get Armadillo, I think I'm going to get that now. And my water heater dies out, that's going to be the first thing I would do is, hey, this giant-ass tank that's sitting in my garage, taking up a quarter of the freaking space there, I'm going to replace that with a tankless one and upgrade the electrical for it. That's the only thing about tankless water heaters is you need to get upgraded circuits for that, because it draws a lot higher power to run, but it only draws when you run it. While the tanked water heater is constantly running and heating the water. So you're using a lot more energy that way.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Awesome, man. This is a great program. I love that. I love your thinking like that. I love to have people like yourself on my show that are making not just, consumer first, but let's be proactive and let's start helping, the environment and all the other things as well in the best way possible. That also saves money for the people. Like, this is not just one thing like, hey, it's eco-friendly and Energy Star rated, but guess what that does also to you as a homeowner? It puts money back in your pocket. So it saves you money. You get a credit for it, and they're taking good care of you. Like, come on.
Okay.
What else can you ask?
It's good for business, good for our homeowners, and good for the planet. So it's like win.
Everybody wins. Yeah. For the realtors listening, how do you shift a warranty from a reactive, fix it when it breaks tool into a proactive client relationship asset? And does Armadillo have a partnership program for agents?
We do. We have different flavors of partnership programs. And as a matter of fact, we have a wonderful sales executive in Florida, Lancelot. I'm going to introduce you to her, Jamie. Hi, Jamie. But we have a lot of transparency with our real estate agents in that we can create programs where we tell our agents when one of their clients has a claim, and then the agent can take that opportunity. It's up to the agent to say, hey, I want to then reach out to the customer and say, I'm so glad you got a new refrigerator or whatever it is, and use that as another touch point. Some agents take us up on it. We also have an amazing newsletter. My wife writes it, by the way. It's called What's the Dealo? It's all about home ownership tips and tricks. And we can create a version of that for a team, a real estate team that goes from them, powered by Armadillo, but it goes from them to their clients, comes out once every few weeks. And
a good touch point for agents. That's a really good touch. You guys, we need to keep in front of our clients. Our face is first probably on the marketing materials or our names in it or anything like that. That's another touch point that you should have with your clients per month. And you don't even have to work on it. They do.
That's right. That's right. And then they remember you for referrals. Maybe they're not moving, but they know someone who's moving to the area, their friend who's moving from New York to Florida. That's happening right now a lot. So you stay front and center. So yeah, there is a lot that we do with real estate agents, and we're happy to chat with anybody who's interested. Please reach out to us on our website. It's very easy.
I'll have it in the show notes, guys, by the way. So if you're watching the pod, everything to get a hold of Matan's team, or Matan probably maybe himself too, it will be in the show notes. So agents can actually earn from this partnership, correct?
Yes, absolutely. We have to be compliant with, of course, with the Real Estate Settlements and Procedures Act, RESPA, but there are ways to work together that are very strategic and that we've done very successfully. And there are different flavors of that we can guide you through. Yeah.
That's always good. We're always looking for extra partnerships that will help us, single person wearing all the million hats that we wear as agents in our business, to have a little extra help. Even that newsletter that you mentioned, imagine it would take you probably 15, 20 minutes every month to put something like that together through AI. Now somebody's doing it for you and sending it out to your database, which is awesome. You don't have to work on that.
Yeah.
All right, and let's zoom out. Big picture time. Where does this industry go from here? Okay.
Well, I think this industry is a really interesting industry because I think just about 5% of homeowners have a home warranty product. You compare that to home insurance, almost everybody has home insurance. So there's a lot of room for growth. The industry has been growing for quite some time. We expect it to continue to grow. I think over the next 5 years, you could get to 10% penetration. So it could almost double. And we're looking at Armadillo, we're looking to just capture a tiny slice of that. We don't need all of it, just a tiny slice to be happy. So the industry is going to continue to grow. We're going to see more proactive, based on, related to your last question, Lancelot. Home warranty companies, I think, will start being more proactive and providing ongoing services to their homeowners, and instead of just after something breaks, being there for them. We certainly are heading in that direction.
Well, look, think about this. Like you should get your AC service once a year. That could be something that a home warranty could offer. You need to get, maybe your plumbing checked, how your drain clean out, etc., stuff like that, caulking around your windows. I talked about that, I think, with someone the other day, that every so often you should, remove the old caulk around your windows and put the new caulk or silicone in, because it cracks and gets old and the water seeps in. And those are things that normal homeowners don't really think about. I'm pretty sure you have it in your newsletters about, your maintenance for your home.
Yes.
But that could be something a home warranty could say, hey, guys, by the way, if you sign up with us, we'll come by every 2 years and do that. Or we'll pay for a paint job on your house, or we'll pay for, this or that, as long as you're a member with us in the long term. I think that's amazing that you could probably think about putting stuff like that into consideration and grow the business, instead of just, hey, if it breaks, we come and fix it. Now we will provide you with help so it doesn't break.
That's right. 100%. We're actually working right now with a home inspection company on a program where it's going to be like an ongoing 9-point check of the home every quarter or every 6 months. We're really excited about that. I think that's the future. I think that's where the industry is headed.
Well, tie it into, health, because you already mentioned healthcare.
Yeah.
I'm a big avoid getting sick person. So I go to my anti-aging clinic. I get, my blood tested every 3 months. A home is similar. It's like a living organism that you live in. Basically, it has moving parts, sort of like it's not like moving like a factory, but it is, you use your stove, you use your fridge, you use your dishwasher. You do a lot of things in your home. Your AC goes constantly, and you just expect it to go without you maintaining it. The things need to be sucked out, the pipes, etc., etc. If you maintain a healthy home in that factor, your things will last longer.
Yes.
It's so important.
And, it's so funny. My wife and I, we just got a bunch of plants in our home, and we're like so excited about it. And we're seeing that there's not a lot of light coming in through, but there used to be a lot of light that came through our sunroom. And we're looking outside, we're like, the trees, they continue to grow every year. And we never thought about the trimming the trees that are in our backyard. And it's like, it is an organism. Your home is built in the ground. And I bet you, if you go to people who've lived in their home, let's say at least 10 years, ask them, how many of you have had a home inspection since you moved in?
0.
99% will say no.
Well, unless it's a really old one. I had one on my fourplex because of updating insurance policies. You have to get a 4-point window every so often to get a new insurance policy, but that's still not a full home inspection. You check your main stuff, your AC, your roof, your stuff like that, which is good because that's pretty much what you want to keep your eyes on. But they don't check the caulk around, your sink, etc.
Yeah.
Where guess what? That silicone or that caulk that they put up there, that gets hard and then cracks, and then water seeps in when you're washing your dishes or etc. And that can cause damage to your cabinetry, which then becomes a problem because now you have to change the cabinets too.
That's right.
All these little things, if you have someone come in and do like a 9-point inspection saying, hey, can you check the things that get ruined the fastest or not ruined, but aged the fastest in a building, and keep an eye on those constantly, I think it makes total sense, and people should pay attention to that. And your home will be worth more. And then when you go and put it on the market, whenever you decide to, guess what? You're keeping up with today's norms because you've been upkeeping your home. So when you get an inspection after it goes on a contract, or you'll have a higher chance of selling it because it's in good shape. Like it's incredible how much, I don't know how much it will cost, but I'm pretty sure that the cost will be awesome compared to your returns at the end of the day on a resale.
I know it's hard to correlate the return on something like that, but I think it's more than worth it. You're keeping your biggest asset that's most important to you in good shape. And I think home warranty companies are uniquely positioned to have an ongoing touch point with their clients. So it's a really exciting trajectory for the industry.
Yeah. So you've argued that a buyer's market is the ideal time to inject warranty plans into negotiations. Why and how it help close deals faster? Is this a seller concession, a buyer incentive, or both?
Yeah, when it's a buyer's market, usually it's a seller's concession. Right after COVID, it became very much a seller's market. A lot of people were moving in sight unseen, no inspections done, which is just wild. It was a seller's market, and it slowly, since COVID, kind of came back to more normal levels. And for us, that's a good thing. That was a big COVID real estate market was a big disruption for home warranty companies. So yeah, buyer's market is good for us. It means that the buyer can ask for more. It means that if the buyer asks for a home warranty, it's going to probably make it into the deal. And yeah, it helps. I think, from our perspective, it does help a buyer get more comfortable with moving into a home with older systems. So it does help close the deal. I don't know what the statistic is on, is it 2 days earlier in closing or not, but it's so important.
I don't think it affects it that way. I think it affects the peace of mind status more, and even in a seller's market, if you're a buyer, you should get a home warranty then, because if you're relinquishing your inspection period and abilities to see what's going on in the house, get yourself protected. Buy a home warranty, because that makes sense. It's like, hey, it's going to cost me. I don't have to carry it forever. It might be worth it to carry it forever, but if I carry it for at least a year, I know that I will be covered for that first year while I'm getting used to the house. And then if you like it, just keep on going with it, because it could be worth, long-term investment. It could be a good one too. That's what I say about the aspects of that. So in the seller's market, as a buyer, you should get it for yourself. In a buyer's market, you should get the seller to buy you one.
Exactly. You said way better than me, by the way.
I'm in sales. You're a CEO. Let's talk about the last question here, Matan. Looking ahead, How do companies like Armadillo evolve from being an emergency contact into a comprehensive homeownership partner? What does Armadillo look like in 5 years? And is the future preventative maintenance instead of reactive repair?
If I get it my way, and 5 years is a long time. 5 years means we're going to be twice our age now. So we get 5 more years to do things. We've done so much in the first 5 years. It's a lot of times. But if we go 5 years forward and I get it my way, I think you're seeing a company that helps homeowners be empowered homeowners that are much better understanding of the home, of what it's like to take care of the most important systems in the home, whether it's the HVAC system, water heater, whatever it is, using technology to make it so simple for homeowners to do. I think we have a lot of investment to make at Armadillo in that part of our tech stack. And still, things are going to break down even in that world. And it's great because we're all the home warranty companies, including Armadillo, we're set up to help with that after. I think you're going to see a lot more focus on that up front. And I'm not a big app fan. I don't like apps. I have some that I use a lot, but most of them, it's kind of like a graveyard of tiles on my phone that I don't use often enough. And I think most people have that on their phones. There are some organized people who will delete stuff they don't use, but I think with AI and with technology, we can make it so that it's not really an app. It's more of a thing. Maybe it's a text-based thing that talks to people. So we have a little bit of a vision that's emerging right now. And I think the next 5 years are going to be really interesting to watch us from the outside. So, I don't know what the future holds, but you're going to see a lot coming from us on that maintenance front.
Matan, you just did something I didn't think was possible. You made me excited about home warranties, bro.
Oh, man, you made my day.
Yeah, you did. It is exciting to hear what you're doing with Armadillo and what's going forward with that. For everyone listening, if you've written off warranties because of a bad experience, I get it. It was a bad experience before. But what Matan built at Armadillo is a completely different animal. You choose your contractor. You get real-time tracking. You can take the cash and handle it yourself. And you even get rewarded for going green. For agents, Armadillo has a partnership program. Check it out. All the links are in the show notes along with the Key Crew Journal features. Subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with an agent who stopped recommending warranties. They need to hear this. This has been Lancelot's Real Estate Roundtable. Until next time, go build your kingdom. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us on Sir Lancelot's Real Estate Roundtable, where we've unveiled the mysteries of real estate together. Remember, in this kingdom of possibilities, every dream home is just a discussion away. I can help your real estate dreams come true. Just call me at 786-449-7518. Until our next roundtable, may your ventures be prosperous and your homes be filled with love and joy. Farewell, fellow knights of real estate.